Every cup of coffee has a story. Let me introduce you to Talitha Coffee, where every bag fuels freedom and healing for survivors of trafficking. To join me in supporting their mission, check out the link in the description. Your purchase supports both Talitha Coffee's work and 5 Minutes in Coffee. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes in Coffee. I am glad to be back sharing God's Word with you. Question for you: what are you doing with your Sundays? Are we doing the thing? You know, the thing. You go to church, you step into the building, then we transform into Christian mode. We have our best attitude, our level of patience is at its highest setting, and we are overly loving as we are greeting everyone, asking them about how their week is going. Then when we step out of church, we revert to regular mode with a regular attitude, no time for anyone, and loving if it's convenient because nobody better get in our way or slow us down as we return to the grind of life. Why do we do that? Church should be more than that. The worship of God should really recharge our faith battery. After all the world has done to beat us down, we should find our strength in the church to just keep on keeping on. If I picture myself as a gray blob going to church without a sense of purpose, I can cover up my gray blob exterior long enough to be done with church to go back to being just a gray blob when I leave. If this is my life, then I have misunderstood some things. Each Sunday, as the Bible indicates, should be a time for self-examination, to look at our lives and gauge who we've been while focusing on who Christ continues to be. Then from there, we should be aware of what Christ has done, his redeeming power, that should drive our every thought, feeling, and attitude we have. When we were on our way to hell, Jesus snatched us from the literal clutches of death so that we can have a chance at heaven. How can that not be life-altering? If we do not see that our debt has been paid for newness of life, then we are doing ourselves a disservice in not understanding that. If we are leaving our worship with God unchanged week after week, then we may not understand the God who sits high and looks low. I don't mean your life is supposed to be perfect just because you go to church and all your problems are to be solved. I'm saying your perspective should be different when you head back home. You were just recharged. Looking at this life with a 15% Christian battery is a lot different than a recharged 115% Christian battery that's full of life while you're starting your week off. Your outlook on life should be different. Your joy should be different after you have been with like-minded Christians. My recommendations to improve in this area: make sure you are studying His Word. How can your mind meditate on something it doesn't have? How can your appetite for His Word increase if you have not developed a palate for it? Here are some other things you can do: prayer, fellowship, meditating on His goodness, serving in your community, teaching the gospel, and continually checking in on your friends and the sick and shut in service to Him. Here's the thing. We worship God collectively together, most likely in the building when we go to church. But by your life's actions, you should be worshiping Him daily. Your life should be an indication to whom you belong to, so that when you leave the building, your heart and mind stays in continual worship of Him, so that you are transformed by His power. When we don't allow God to consume all of us, then we are unchanged. When He consumes all of us, we cannot remain the same even if we wanted to. It is hard to be that gray blob when you understand how His grace and mercies are flowing through you. A proper way to think of it is like the perpetual task of diet and exercise. You see, if you show up to exercise once a week just going through the motions, how much increase could you expect? When we get to the gym, we put on our best clothes to at least look the part. However, throughout the week, we have eaten everything that's not on our meal plan. We are unaware if we should be doing 1 push-up or 50 push-ups because we really don't think about where we are or where we should be. Then we expect that one time of exercise to do so much for us. We should be doing 50 push-ups, but we are only doing 1 push-up, and then we are confused about the lack of results. Or because we don't know where we are, we should be doing 1 push-up, but we are really doing 50 because we care what others say. But because it's more than we can do safely, we are hurting and we are dreading exercise in general, or in this case, we are dreading being at church. So it goes to show what we do outside of church matters just as much as what we do in church. Transformation is a constant process. It is the renewing of your mind. Don't just go through the motions of a Christian life. Do what's required. The last episode was about celebrating your growth. This episode is about keeping yourself in a state of growth. It has to be intentional. So worship Him daily in how you act and interact with others. Watch His work in your life and be ready to worship Him as He alone deserves. Thank you for listening and sharing this episode of 5 Minutes in Coffee with others. 2 things that I'm asking of you today. First, join my online Christian community on Discord. It is so worth it. We have daily Bible reading, a prayer request option, and general Christian-based discussions. Second, please consider donating $3 to 5 Minutes in Coffee. This will go a long way in helping make spiritual growth opportunities possible. The link for the community and donations are in the description. And before you go, what is something that has limited your recharge in the Lord? Let me know through any of my social media links. See you on Discord.